Hey guys, happy Monday. Today I have Tony Rodrigues from Get Up and Grow to interview. And Tony, I just want to thank you so much for agreeing to come on and, being a part of this. I know you're very busy, and it's funny. It's like even at events, Tony's a trainer for Tony Robbins. And, even there was certain times where I was trying to work through something and people would be like, go talk to Tony. And then I'd go find you and I'd be like, and there'd be somebody like, you'd be so into talking with that person, and it was always somebody different, and just your heart shined through. I didn't even know what you guys were talking about, but I know that you're a huge value to our community. And, I see you everywhere. I saw, I've only been in the community for a year and a half, but I saw you first in line at Jack Canfield. My friend had gifted me a birthday present to go see Tony at the Real Estate and Wealth Expo, and you were just a beautiful presence there. I see you at events, and, I just want to thank you because I know you're busy. I know you're working on your show every day. Tony has a show, Get Up and Grow, on Facebook Live, right?
Yeah, we stream to Facebook and to YouTube.
So you've been, I've seen you in the Facebook Live challenge, and you are doing more than I see anybody in the community do. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, obviously you see me at Tony Robbins events because I'm there as a trainer. So that's what I do. I'm there to help people. And even at the Wealth Expo, I was there to supporting Tony and his mission, right? So I he was a mentor that kind of saved my life and helped me through my evolution. So I continue to give back in that way, which is what this is all about as well, right? It's about giving back. I started a show called Tony Talks, which I've now kind of migrating to Get Up and Grow. So right now it's just Tony Talks, hashtag Get Up and Grow. I started that last year, and I started doing the shows regularly, and then it backed off. But when this started again, this situation that we're in,
you have the best sense of humor, by the way.
what are you going to call it, right?
Just do.
It's a shitty situation, so we'll just call it the situation. I decided to come on and do one of these a day because I'm blessed to have a lot of really great people in my ecosystem, in my sphere. So I bring them forth to give knowledge and educate and shine some light and spread some wisdom and some love and everything else to whoever I can. Because at the end of the day, one of the purposes of my life is to help ease suffering, right? And you do that sometimes by just helping people to see what they don't see, to unblind them, if you will, to give Mr. Sean Callaghan's
oh my gosh,
program a bit of a plug as well with the Unblinded Mastery, which, by the way, there's an 8:30 huddle every morning. If anybody's interested, we'll put the link.
Remarkable. I love the huddle.
So yeah, I love supporting people who are on the same path, same mission as me. So I continue to do that, and I continue to do these shows because, again, as the name Get Up and Grow says, I think that in life we've got to grow through what we go through, right? So that's my purpose of my life, is to help ease suffering by helping people grow through what they go through. Because if we don't grow through what we go through, we just get up and go. That's what most people do. They just get up and go, and they're going to keep going through what they're going through until you grow through it, right? And sometimes that's just perspective. That's just being able to see things as they are, not worse than they are. Sometimes it's about recognizing that life is happening for you, not to you.
Always.
And just sometimes the knowledge of understanding that, and I posted this yesterday, it was a great post that I had seen somewhere that said that, we always try to change things, right? And the things that we cannot change wind up changing us, because we change to become the person that we think we need to do. Like we change by learning or by trying different things to change that situation or that situation, right? And sometimes that situation changes us because we had to step into a new version of ourselves to be able to try to even handle something that was beyond our scope. So it doesn't matter even if you just learned one skill, read one more book, read one more article that expanded your mind in the sphere or the field of whatever that was, you've grown. So it changed you in one way or another. And the days that make you are indeed the days. The days that break you are indeed the days that make you, because they haven't really broken you; they cracked you, perhaps.
That's where the light comes in.
Mm-hmm. But actually, I kind of probably argue that is not where the light comes in.
Oh.
That's where the light goes out from, because the light comes from within, not from without, not from outside. It comes from inside. So those of us who have been cracked can now allow our light shines through those cracks. It's not where the light comes in as much as where the light goes out.
I agree with you.
Again, not to contest your line, because
no, I was thinking of a picture I saw with, and I'll share it. It's like, a woman has cracks and then the light is shining out.
Right. Because we are light, right? We're beings of light. We're energy. Our soul, right? Our soul, they say the windows of your eyes are the windows to your soul. And that's where, light comes from you. But you know what? I think that those of us who have been through the darkness, those of us who have been cracked, though that's where the light shines. It's through our cracks. It's through the pain that we had gone through, Just give me one second.
Yeah. So Tony touched on Unblinded, and I had forgot that we spent a weekend there together, and that was just a beautiful growth. And it's really a tight knit, beautiful community, and their purpose is to help people see what they don't see. And that was a huge, a great experience.
Yeah, and I align with it because Sean, who's the creator of the program, is blind, and his line is that we're all just blind and learning to see. And how true is that? And I align with that because in order to grow through what you go through, sometimes you've got to be unblinded, right? You've got to be willing to see the things that you were choosing not to see, or you've got to choose to open your eyes to the situation that you were in, or that you could have, whatever it is. So you have to, in order to get up and grow, you kind of have to get unblinded to what it is. And most of the time, it's not that we were blind, except we were refusing to see. So I align with that, with his mission, because of that, and because of obviously who he is and the program is, and so many of the things a lot of the great things that have come through it. So that's it. I mean, like I said, you've gone through some difficult moments as well. And how much have you been forced to grow?
Oh my God.
How different a woman are you today than you were 18 months ago?
Completely different. But
are you worse for it?
Oh my God, no. So much better for it.
None of us like to go through the pain. And certainly what you went through is much more tragic than what many people go through. But so many people have challenges that they don't necessarily grow through, right? So they keep living in the shadows of that pain, and some people never outgrow that. That's why there's so many people that lost their smile so long ago, and doesn't matter. They don't even know why they're upset. They don't even know. They're just not happy people, and that's because they haven't grown through what they went through, right?
I think it's an evolution too, because there was certain times in my life, I was talking to Steve Chinnan this morning about, where I did focus on the sad parts or the bad parts, and my life was very painful. And I think when you go through certain things and the evolution of feeling those feelings, I didn't have to focus on the good, but I did have to focus on the good. It's just, but I don't know if I wouldn't have went through some stuff in my past, would I be where I am now? Probably not. I think it's an evolution.
I know for a fact I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone through some of the darkness that I've had to go through some of the pain, through some of the challenges. I know I don't believe for a minute I'd be where I am today, had it not been for the things that tried to break me. Again, if anybody watches my show and knows me, they know that my life is like a series of quotes. And I dropped this one again 2 days ago, which was something that I love. It says, everything that tried to drown me taught me how to swim.
Bam. I
Think
got
about
chills
that.
through my whole body.
The things that tried to drown you taught you how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even know that you didn't know how to swim. You didn't even know that you needed to know how to swim. Bob Marley says it the best. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have.
I hear that in my head sometimes daily. But
Right.
I did write down a quote from your page that, because I think a lot of us our focus is integrity. And I just was wondering if maybe you could explain more about the quote posted. Integrity is more valuable than income.
Yeah. Yeah. That's today's post. Yeah. So integrity, that's how I started doing these videos, by the way. It was probably about 5 years ago, before Facebook Live was a thing, maybe 5.5 years ago. I went through a really challenging time in my life again. And I started just grabbing my phone and speaking on integrity. Was probably one of the first ones that I did, actually. And I would just do like a 3-minute talk on one word, whether it be integrity or discipline or determination or courage or strength or passion or love or compassion or whatever it was. So that was kind of like the first versions of that. So integrity was one of the first words that I chose, and integrity. And I'll go into a little deeper than you probably thought I was going to go to. So I'll just say this: integrity. Everybody thinks integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching, because that's the most popular way of saying it. And they're absolutely true. That is very much integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching, right? But integrity is more than that. Integrity is integrating what you've learned into your life, integrating all parts. Integrity is loving all of you, right? Because you can't hate a part of your past and love who you are today. You've got to integrate all of that together. That's like saying, I hate my left leg. God damn that left leg. Or, my left toe hurts me. I hate that left toe. What, are you going to cut it off? Right? You've got to, it's about integrating every part of your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we're a compilation of our life's experiences. The good, the bad, and especially the ugly, because it's those difficult moments that made you who you are. So to be able to accept, to be able to forgive yourself, to be able to let go, that's integrity. And even beyond that, integrity is not just knowing what to do, but doing what you know, right? And integrating what you've learned in your life's experiences into your life, and integrating and being whole, being you, right? Otherwise, you're not really, like I said, if you hate your past, well, some people may not be proud of their past. Maybe there were some bad things that happened, but you can't hate your past. You need to go beyond that, and one of the processes that sometimes I help people through is letting go of that, right? And forgiving and letting that go, because you never want to forget something that happened. You never want to forget a past event. You never want to forget a trauma that happened. What you want to do is you want to remove the emotional charge. You never want to forget it, because if you forget it, you're doomed to repeat that same goddamn mistake. Or if it happens again, you don't remember what you had to do to get out of it. So you never want to forget those things, right? But what you want to do is you want to remove that the emotional impact that it has, that emotional charge. So by doing that, and by releasing and forgiving and accepting, then you can integrate all of you into who you are. So integrity is very much doing, not just knowing what to do or knowing what to say, but saying and doing what you know you need to do and say when you need to do it, especially when nobody's looking.
I love that so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry, that was probably a lot deeper than.
I finally got my time with Tony, y'all.
And to touch base again on the integrity, your original question, right? And we'll just share it. We'll just share that one with your audience. You know what? Actually, did you tag me on this? Because I should be streaming this. Hold on. Let me just make sure that I'm streaming this on my page as well, because I really should be doing that.
I'm still learning. I think I've been doing this 2 weeks now.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to have to add that to my timeline. So So the post that I made this morning was integrity is more valuable than income, honor is richer than fame, and self-worth is wealthier than your net worth, right? So integrity is more valuable than income, because if you don't have integrity and if you don't love who you are and every bit of who you are, then it doesn't matter how successful and how wealthy you are, that's where that fulfillment piece is missing. That's where that self-love piece is missing. So if you're not living in integrity, at some point, there's that unease, there's that dis-ease, right? That could very well turn into a disease. But there's that dis because you just don't feel right, because everybody knows right from wrong. And if you're doing the wrong thing, then you know that you're doing the wrong thing. So you're going to be uneasy, whether you're going to be, we all know people that don't live right. And they say that you do the right thing. People who do the right thing sleep better at night. I guess an argument could be made either way, because I know some people that sleep really well and they're just not really great people. And I know that at times I don't sleep well, and I think I'm a pretty good person. But the reality of it is, at the end of it, nobody, when you die, you don't take it with you. You don't line your coffin. You don't take it all with you. All you leave behind is the legacy of who you were. And Les Brown, again, here's another quote. Les Brown, I heard him say the other day on the Unblinded Huddle, he said, live a life that will outlive you. Right? Live a life that will outlive you. Right? So live in integrity. Do the right thing. Lend a hand. Be the best version of you could be.
Tony, I appreciate you so much for coming on, and now everybody in my world gets to experience the greatness in you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. I know we both have to run because we're busy people.
We've got another. What time is it? It's already 2:30. Wow, that.
Yeah.
Oh, we've only been on for 17 minutes, though. Okay, that's not.
But I have a million questions for you. But I'm grateful to call you a friend, so I know I could ask you more.
That's another one on here if you want. If you've got time, I'll have another 10 mineds or so if you like.
So I saw we were both on Gary Vee this morning, and I love how that's what part of the reason why I love you so much is because you're always there, like your presence. You're always like in what I'm into, and like it's so cool. And like I feel like I know I look up to you, but. So today's topic was surrounded about farming, one of the people being interviewed. And all I kept thinking was, oh my God, Tony has a farm. Like you're an animal guy. And then I'm like thinking, do you like make honey? And I know you have eggs, and can you tell us about that? And do they have names?
Well, first, some of the chickens and ducks have names. The kids named them. Some of them, not all of them. B, I don't make honey. I steal the honey.
Oh,
the bees make the honey.
Is it really urine? Because Gary Vee's like, it's bee urine. I'm like,
no, if you're going to get technical, it's technically bee vomit.
Oh.
I don't know if it makes it any better. No, basically they fly out and they get all the pollen from everything. They bring it back, and the pollen and the nectar. Right, because you have the nectar that flows. That the nectar flow is upon us when everything starts to bloom. The nectar starts to go out. That's when all the bees go out and harvest the nectar and the pollen. And from the nectar, they bring the nectar back, and they basically they put it away. And they I don't know if they're the ones how exactly the process is, because I'm not that technical with it, but they basically extract the moisture from it and just leave what's known as the honey, right? Which is because the honey has no water, right? All the humidity's been sucked out. So they literally suck all of that out, and they put the honey in their honeycomb, and then they put a layer of wax, a honeycomb that they build, their own wax, and then they put the cap of honey on top of it. And at probably late July, you can harvest the honey. And it's here's an amazing factoid. One bee in its entire life creates a little bit less than a teaspoon of honey, and they fly a couple thousand miles in order to be able to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why people say, well, honey's expensive. I
It's so expensive.
never realized why honey was so expensive. Now I realize it.
Yeah. If you're getting real honey, that shit is expensive. I mean, my brother made me put back the big honey at Whole Foods because I'm like, I'm going to use it. He's like, Jen, you're not paying $50 for a thing of honey. And
the
like,
Manuka honey? Yeah, that's a really expensive honey.
Oh, yeah. I just trust it. I know it's local and.
Oh, local honey for $50. How big is it?
Well, this one I got for 25.
I was going to say, if that was $50, that is not cheap.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it's a lot. This is 2 pounds of honey.
That was me in my beehives over the weekend.
You're so cool. Did you name your piggy?
Bandit.
Bandit. So
Bandit.
Cute.
Yeah, he's the he stays with the chickens. He protects the chickens. He's the guard pig. I lost a bunch of chickens last year to coyote and rather to fox and raccoons. So he's in there now, and he takes care of them. So yes, I do have 2 beehives. And 2 weeks ago, one of them was swarming, so I caught the swarm. So then I had 3 beehives, and then this weekend I split the other hive. So now I technically have 4 beehives.
That 4 beehives, a bunch of dope.
The chickens lay a bunch of different. They just lay a bunch of different color eggs and stuff. So it's kind of cool. I'll show you.
How'd you get into all this?
How did I get into all of this? Well, I mean, I was born in Portugal, so as a kid, my parents had chickens and they had beehives as well, and so there was just something that I'm on a couple of acres, so I wanted to relive a little bit of that for myself and give a little bit of that to my kids too.
Beautiful.
So that's like the eggs that they lay, all different colors.
Oh my God. It's like Easter every day.
They're not painted. Those are the actual eggs. They're all different kinds of chickens. So I have, I got chickens and ducks, and I got a pig. Yes, a potbelly pig, and a couple of beehives. I got an organic garden, some fruit trees. So there's always something going on around here.
Life goals. I had a pet duck. His name is Sergeant Quack and Feathers. And our
quackers.
Our bond was, I mean, they're so emotional. They have the high level of oxytocin, and they feel all the feelings, and so I love animals.
Yeah, so it's cool. There's never a dull moment for sure.
What else did I want to? I know. So, oh my God, I know I'm pushing time, but okay. So how about the real estate avenue? Is that something I know you're self-employed. Is that a big part of your life also?
Well, I've been in real estate for, believe it or not, 30 years. I started when I was like 5. So yeah, it's been 30 years, my 30th year in real estate, actually. And I've done residential, commercial real estate. I've, bought, sold, flipped, ground up construction. I've had my own real estate office for a bunch of years, for about 18 years. And now I'm with a company called eXp Realty. So if anybody out here is interested in real estate or is interested in knowing about eXp Realty, if you've got a real estate license, I say it all the time, you owe it to yourself and your family to know what it is about, because it's not just about real estate and making more money in less time, right? To use Sean's example.
More magic.
And more magic, right? But it's not about just making more money in less time, because you're actually, the commission splits are higher, but you can actually make a substantial amount more than 100%. Just by also helping grow the company as well. So if anybody's interested, hit me up, shoot me a DM, and I'll be happy to tell you about that. So I've been doing that, and now because of everything else that I'm doing between the show, and I'm speaking on different stages, not at the moment because everything's shut down, but between speaking and doing my masterminds and one-on-one coaching with clients, I am doing real estate a little bit differently now. So I'm consulting for a couple of developers. And I still help some friends and past clients with their property, whether it be, selling a commercial place or a residential. So I am still involved in that, but I'm also helping to grow my organization under eXp. So I also coach the people that are under me, that I've brought into the environment, into eXp Realty. I also support them in helping them grow their business and industry. So
why is that industry important to you?
I've been doing it for so long I've been in real estate for so long, and I've done, I can't say that I've done every aspect of it, but I've done so many parts of it, from, like I said, residential, and then having my own residential portfolio of single and multifamily dwellings and apartment buildings, that sort of thing. But then warehousing and office buildings and that sort of thing. I've also had, other crazy businesses. I've had an equestrian center for about 15 years that with 44 stalls, bar, restaurant, and lounge. And I've done a lot of different things, all because I've bought the real estate. So I've been in and out of real estate for a very long time. So as the old saying goes, just when you think you're out.
I love it. Mix it with the relish.
Yeah.
Sopranos, right?
Right. So, technically it's like, now I can't leave. Right. So I just,
Oh my God.
now you just can't leave. So
that is so funny.
Hey, listen, I'm in New Jersey, so I got to drop that. But it's an industry that I've always enjoyed. I got started when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
So it's just been something that certainly supported my life and my family, and has enabled me to do what I've done in my life. Obviously, there's been investments along the way as well. So I think it's a great business. If anybody's interested in getting into it, like I said, send me a private message, or if you're interested in knowing more about EXP, I'd love to talk to you. So shoot me a private message. I'd be happy to have that conversation with anyone.
Beautiful. So I want to ask you a question. Since I do look up to you and you're doing a lot of things that I want to do, do you have any advice for me?
Do I have any advice for you? Listen, just keep shining. Be the best version of you that you can be. Know that your only competition is the person you were yesterday. And don't focus on what other people are saying. Don't focus on what they're doing. Focus on what you're doing. Look to others to maybe get guidance as to what they're doing right, but it's your path, right? And one of the things that I was talking about today was about honoring yourself. Right. And doing what you need to do for you, because so many times we put our value on other people's opinions. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to tell you that other people's opinions don't really matter. As Tony Robbins says, other people's opinions are none of your business.
I love that so much.
Because other people,
people's opinions of you are none of your business.
That's right. That's absolutely true. And you know what? And your value does not diminish based on someone's inability to see your worth.
Wow, it's huge.
Right? Because there's always going to be critics. There's always going to be critics. Like I said, I'm a series of quotes, so I'm going to drop another one on you. Criticism is the tax you pay for success.
Ooh.
So until you're ready to pay the tax, unless you're ready to pay the tax, you're not ready for success. It's funny. I was talking about this the other day on I think it was on one of the shows, that I have 2 official trolls.
I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, let me get at them. Who are they?
2 official trolls, 2 official haters that came on one of probably the most positive comments that I've made, right? Because most of my posts are all about positivity and inspiring people and giving people hope and everything else. And on probably the most inspiring one that I thought that I had put up in a while, both of these people attacked me. One guy's like, if I was in front of you, I would destroy you. And I'm like, I typed the response. I'm like, no, delete. And I didn't respond. And then there was a woman that jumped at me as well. And both of them kind of stayed on me for a week until I just deleted them and banned them, because I don't need the negativity. Even though they probably needed the content that I'm giving them more than I needed to ban them. But, it got to a point where, I don't want to have to be monitoring. And if somebody's saying something that's wrong or offensive, I don't want them to be on the page or even running on the stream. So I did delete them. But I'm like, yes, winning. I've got straight up haters. I got 2 trolls.
That's funny.
And
usually, I mean, with us knowing, it's either significance or hurt people, right?
Yeah.
So that's if you're not getting positive attention, sometimes people will flip it to get the negative attention because they're still getting attention.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So, right. And so and that's what people do it for. So just don't get caught up. I think it was Winston Churchill says, you cannot throw a rock at every dog that barks. Otherwise you don't go anywhere. Right. So just know that there's going to be people out there that are going to talk trash and they're going to do this and they're going to do that.
Better not. I'm just kidding.
But there's always going to be people.
I'm tough.
And all that's okay. And, you know, so the piece of advice, I guess, this was a great one. And it certainly wasn't me that wrote it or came up with it, but don't dim your light to make somebody else comfortable. Because at times I know I've done that. And we've all done that. We dim our light because we're making our parents uncomfortable. We're making our friends uncomfortable. We're making our significant other sometimes uncomfortable, or because we're outshining someone, or, you know, because there's always going to be those haters. And some of those haters are in your boat, right? Some of those haters are in your sphere of influence that you don't really know. Some of those haters are in your family, right? Because everybody wants to see you do well, just not better than them.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So you just got to be careful. Certainly don't be that person. Right?
Yeah.
But you got to be careful. So I'll say this, and if this was, I forget what the woman is, a Black woman that did this TEDx talk, which is where I heard this. She says, "Don't dim your light for anyone. If it bothers them, tell them to put on shades, turn their back, or walk away. You know, but don't dim your light for somebody because it bothers their vision, it bothers their eyes, it bothers who they think that you were or who you are supposed to be. Be you, be authentically you." And I know that word is overused, but I'll just say this: being authentic means being true to you. You know, really, integrity and authenticity are kind of like one and the same. Be the best version of you possible, and don't worry about everyone else. Because if you're being the best you possible, you're not hurting anybody else. Right? So I tell everybody, be you. Unless you're an ass, then you should be somebody else.
I love you. Thank you so much for coming on. You know, I really appreciate you and your time. And can I have one more quick ask?
Sure.
Because me and my dad usually watch the replay on our way to work. Can you just wish my dad a happy birthday?
Sure. What's your dad's name?
Greg.
Greg, happy birthday. You've been blessed with a wonderful daughter. Jennifer is absolutely amazing. And happy birthday to you. And I hope you have the best day and the best year ever.
Thank you so much, Tony.
My pleasure. And listen, before I go, I just want to just invite everyone. So today, Tony Talks and Get Up and Grow. We're starting something, a mini series within the series called Marketing Mondays with Scott Martin.
I love Scott.
Going to be amazing because I love Scott because he is such an out-of-the-box thinker. He's saying things that no other marketing guy out there is saying. So we're going to start a series called Marketing Mondays, and he's going to join me for the next 6 Mondays. So please join me today at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, Marketing Mondays with Scott.
Is that going to be on YouTube or on your page?
It'll be on my Facebook page, but also be on YouTube. If you look me up, and if maybe we can put the link in here afterwards, please go on the YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you just put in my name, Tony Rodrigues, and Get Up and Grow, the way you see it on the screen here with the hashtag Get Up, the letter N, Grow, Get Up and Grow, you'll see it. I've got Master Co on there. I've got Joseph McClendon. I've got Brian Bradley. Brian Bradley, by the way, is a standing Saturday, so he's with us every Saturday. For the last couple of Saturdays. He actually brought Peter Goskew on already twice in person, which is really kind of cool. Master Co's been on, and I think he's going to join us again in a week or so for that. And I don't know if you ever met Jan Hargrave.
I've seen her around. She's been on a stage somewhere.
Yeah, she's at Leadership Academy.
Okay.
So she is a body language expert. She is an amazing woman. We had her on last Wednesday, and it was a great show. And people were asking so many questions, rapid fire. We probably gave 2 hours of content in an hour. Just, you know, body language, right? What does this mean when somebody does this and they're talking to you?
Right.
Lying to you.
Really?
Because they're covering their mouth, almost like their subconscious is saying, "Shut up! I don't want those words. I'm ashamed of those words. Go back in my mouth." Right?
Can you teach us a few more?
Or if they're touching their nose.
What if it's like this? No, just kidding.
There's a lot of little things. So anyway, she said, Tony, this is so much fun. We should do one of these one day on the language of love. I'm like, perfect, let's do it. So this Wednesday, the name of the show is called Let's Get It On with Jan Hargrave. So she's going to be coming on Wednesday. And she'll probably come on every other Wednesday for a little while just to share with us, because who doesn't need to know what somebody else, if somebody else is being honest with you or not, or what those subtle hand gestures mean. What does it mean when somebody is like touching their jewelry, or, you know,
what does that mean?
It means that they just need to anchor to something that they love.
Oh, that's
right?
so sweet.
But depending what's happening, you can, and the conversation, you can kind of relate to what's happening in their life. You know, if
you taught me this one. If you do like where you're washing your hands, it releases oxytocin. Yeah. I have to run.
That's fine. You got to do. But anyway, join us tonight for at 6 o'clock Eastern for Scott Martin, and join us again certainly on Wednesday and every day this week. I've got a great lineup of guests coming up, so join us. And please, on Instagram, I am Tony Rodrigues with an S, Tony Rodrigues 2.0 on Instagram, and follow me on YouTube and subscribe. Appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. And
inspiring.
And I love to end all of them this way, just by saying that in life, it is not about how many times you fall, but about getting up after every fall. Right? Get up, and every single time you fall, you have an opportunity to get up and grow. Appreciate all of you. Jen,
thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.